Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Welcome, ladies, back to the Dating Den. This is Marni Battista. I am your hostess with the hottest here, and I am so excited to invite to the Dating Den Mr. drumroll please, Michael Lushing. You know, I have brought a parade of 30, 40-something men to you, and there are so many hot guys that are like my age and older that I felt like I had to bring you some delicious, luscious Michael Lushing. So thank you.
That's so kind.
Well, it's really true.
You.
Because, you know, I think that we look at, like, what's his name? Freaking Richard Gere and George Clooney. And we think those are the only two sexy hot guys over 50. And it's just not true. So I just thought I had to flaunt you. I would make you like spin and Chippendale, but that would be disrespectful.
You can flaunt me anytime.
Okay, so this is what's really great about you. You're not like a dating expert. You're a guy. You've been married a few times.
A few times.
Gone down the path.
Absolutely.
Didn't have success and then figured it out. So you're the best person to give these ladies some hardcore, basic dating tips right from the guy who knows. Been around the block a few times. How many times?
That block?
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times.
Yes.
And now you're in an amazing relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
We got it right.
You got it right. Okay. Yes. Awesome. So number 1 dating tip, like, do you have a daughter? No, you only have a son.
I have a daughter.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so if you were looking at her and you were like, what's the number 1 dating tip that you would want her to go out into the world with? What would it be?
I would want her to go out, and when she's out there and she's in the world with men, to be herself.
Right.
To be exactly who she is.
Right.
To not pretend to be someone who she's not, trying to mesh with whoever the guy is. I think he'll like me if I do this. I think he'll like me if I say that. Just be you.
Just be you. So, because what a lot of women do is they like go and they read someone's profile, or they Google them, or they look at their, or whatever, and they're like, I think he would like someone who's really smart, or he would like someone who's really into sports.
Right.
And what happens if you fake it?
Well, you fake it because faking it's never good.
Yeah.
Because what if he's not even sure what he wants? Or maybe he's not being truthful in his profile.
Oh.
But ultimately it's going to come through. Ultimately it's going to come down to, at some point you're going to talk about who you really are.
Now, I think...
why not cut to that in the beginning?
You told me a story, you probably don't even remember this, a while back, but when you were dating, you would I think it was you, and you would take girls to like the beach. And you'd say like, or you'd go for coffee or whatever, and you'd be like, do you want to go for a walk on the beach? And I think this is you, right?
Yes.
And they would put in their profile like, love walks on the beach, and then they'd say, no, because I didn't bring the right shoes or my hair will get messed up.
Right.
That's a great example of what you're talking about. Did that ever happen to you, where they like faked it and got caught?
They did.
What happened?
There was one very attractive young lady.
Yeah.
And on her profile, she said, from the apple pan to the ivy.
Okay, apple pan for you that don't live in LA is like a total diner.
It's a
kind
total
of a dive.
Yep. It's a dive, been there since the 30s. It's a joint.
It's a joint. And the ivy is fancy schmancy celebrity place. Okay.
Right. And I thought, that's really cool. Because there's somebody who was a West Side girl without pretense.
Okay.
Because we can all dress it up, but that means it's okay to her to kind of get a little messy.
Right, okay.
And that was really... that attracted me to her.
Okay, what happened?
So now we have our first conversation, and we're talking about things that we like, and she goes, apple pan? I can't stand the apple pan.
Busted!
I said, oh, I was just curious because you happened to mention it on your profile. Oh, well, one of my girlfriends suggested I should say that. And I maybe that wasn't such a good idea, was it? And I said, no, not really.
You were like, wah, 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 wah.
And she kind of, and I realized that it was just the first of a progression of inaccuracies.
That's crazy. So
because
ladies,
she had been online for a while.
Yeah.
Without success.
Right.
And so she was trying too hard. She was letting others dictate, if I only say this, or maybe if I only say that, or And it just did not work.
It doesn't work. So you have to be authentic.
Yes.
Now, was there anyone else who could fake it like a little longer, but then when you got to really know them, you realized that they weren't what they said also because they couldn't hold the pretzel?
Correct. Yeah, there was a young lady that I went out with, and she had shared with me that, she was 42.
Okay.
Which is on the younger scale for me.
Yeah.
We went out.
Yeah.
And lovely, and the kid question
Okay.
arose.
Okay.
And she goes, I don't have kids, but I've accepted that.
Okay.
That I'm not going to have children. I wish I could, but I can't. I haven't met the right man. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
So having 2 grown kids.
Right.
I've closed that chapter.
Right.
I thought, okay, it is now safe to proceed.
Okay.
Date number 1, we're towards the end of the meal.
Are you guys scared? I'm scared. Okay, what
And
happened?
it's going really well. And she said, and I probably should let you know that I really am in the market for a man. Because I really to have children with.
Oh, okay, she really wanted kids.
Yes. And I said, I have to ask the question, but you said you weren't.
Right.
And she said, I know, because I thought that would be a turnoff.
My gosh, people! I'm kind of actually, this has never happened. I'm speechless. It's like we talk about being yourself and we talk about authenticity, and this is such a great example of what it looks like when you're not. You can't lie. You'll get busted.
And as a guy, it's even more frustrating because I'm putting out my time, and I live in LA, and this young lady lived in Laguna Beach.
Right, so it's like
that's 40, an hour plus.
Yep, an hour.
I don't mind going because that's
right.
Old school.
Right.
I will get in the car and I will drive.
Right.
Because that's what a gentleman does.
Right.
But I would that's my part. Your part is at least be who you say you are.
I love that. All right, let's talk about this whole idea of playing games.
Okay.
There was the rules book, and there was men who love bitches, and there's 3-day rule, and there's so many rules. And I am a believer that we shouldn't play games. We should be authentic. What are you talking about? What are your top tips around like why you shouldn't play games? What should women do?
Women should just be who they are.
Okay, so if I call you, or you call me, and I do that like, oh, he likes me, I better not call him back.
Right.
What do you think about that as a guy?
And so it's okay to want to call me back.
Okay.
But if it's not,
right.
It's okay too.
Right.
But if you're thinking it, do it, because don't try to guess, okay, if I do this, he'll think I'm this, or he'll think I'm that. We don't overthink. We just want to understand where you are. I had a good time.
This is so brilliant. I want you to say it to the camera.
I forgot what I said. It was so smart.
No, you basically said like men don't overthink things.
We really don't. And it's somewhat self-deprecating, but it's true that we come off something a little pompous, a little egotistical, a little cocky, because there's the male thing.
Right.
Guilty as charged sometimes. But when you kind of peel that back, we're insecure. Right. We want somebody.
You're human.
Human.
Yeah.
And we want someone to be human with us.
I love that. That is like, tweet that. I love that. What would the tweet be, Craig? Men just want someone to be human with us. Yeah. I love that. Oh my God. I love Michael Lushing. You're delicious. Okay. Last thing. You said something so brilliant before when we were talking about this, and you said one of the best tips you could give a woman is to have an opinion. What do you mean by that?
Because the dance of the date and positioning, and I think for a lot of people, men as well as women, what if I say something that he doesn't agree with? What if I have an opinion that he finds offensive? Right. What if I say something about myself that could be a turnoff? Therefore, I better not say it.
So you're just like vanilla.
Correct.
That's so boring.
It is.
And a lie.
And as guys, we want to be stimulated and challenged.
Right.
We really do. What do you like? Oh, I don't care, whatever you like. No, I hate fish, but I love steak. I would love to have a fillet. there you go.
That's so awesome. So I was out on a date with my husband when this movie Birdman came out, and I am a person who walks out of a movie like that, and I'm like, what happened? Did he die? What? What happened, right? And my husband's like a film buff. Yeah, sorry. Well, you don't know, so you're okay. He's like a film buff.
Right.
And so he was like, what did you think of the movie? We walked out, I was all excited. And my instinct was to just be like, it was good, just because, I want to be like a film buff. But I didn't. I was like, I sort of didn't get it, blah, 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 blah. And we did have a heated conversation, but that's why it's interesting, right? So if a woman's in that conversation, she goes to the movie and she doesn't like it, you're saying, say you didn't like it or say you loved it.
And I'm imagining the woman thinking, it was critically acclaimed. He told me he couldn't wait to see this movie.
Right.
So I better go along and say, God, that was great. So now I'm the woman. I said, and he asked, what'd you think? And she goes, I loved it. What did you think? I was really disappointed.
Right, exactly.
And she's like, well, I really wanted to say I was. So again, anticipating what he might say.
That is a big mistake. I'm going to say that is the big takeaway from this episode, is don't assume what a guy wants and then bend yourself into a pretzel to be that, because you could be so wrong. And also, don't lie on your online profile. Michael, thank you. I have taken your dating den virginity. How was it for you?
It was better than I ever could have imagined.
Awesome. That's what I always wanted to hear.
Okay.
If you would like to tweet Michael Lushing and say you're so awesome, it's at @mlushing. Correct. And if you want to play with us, it's #datingden. Give us a comment. And also join me at datingwithdignity.com. And if you would like to actually have a free training on how to be perpetually irresistible and get out of pretzel mode, there's some links in the description. So make sure you click that and come play with us long term. Mwah! I love you. Talk to you soon.